evening. I see there are quite a few other people streaming at the moment. OB is streaming. First time in quite a while, I think. Netherlands is gonna stream, so it might be pretty quiet in here tonight, but I'm still gonna go ahead, because if I would cancel the stream every time others are streaming, then I wouldn't stream at all. And who knows, people will still watch the replay. Tonight we're gonna continue the SpaceChem adventure. Last week we started a brand new game of SpaceChem, a fake chemistry puzzle game that I used to play a lot in 2011, and I started a fresh new game last week. It's one of my favorite, if not the favorite, puzzle game. And let's go back to where we were last time. Oh, this is a boss level. So if you remember from last time, we're dealing with input molecules and we have to produce the output molecules. This one seems pretty simple because we don't have to change anything, so we can just why is there a 1 here? Story and info. Fill with methane to detonate. Okay. So why we just connect this then? Why do we have these other 2 storage tanks? Is this going too fast maybe and we need to put some of it in here? Oh yeah, pressure. This is gonna create too much pressure? Is that it? Status. I can't remember this level, but is there a reason why we should hold off on exploding that tank? Should do all of them? Yeah. It says 1 here. Explodes when overfilled. Oh, it says that for all of them, so... Alright, so we need to do all 3. We can add more storage tanks. A bit confused here. This isn't gonna work. Right, let's forget this. Wait. Oh, we can't. That's why. Now I see it. Okay, in here, one goes up there. I'm still a bit confused. We should do it like this. So you go in here. You like this maybe? But then we're gonna get issues with this one because we can't reach it. Maybe. We won't be able to connect that. Like this. Yeah, this is possible. But I don't think that's what we need to do. Let's just go this. But then we can't go back. Unless we put it here. Yeah, this is definitely not what we need to do. I'm confused. Do we have to wait with these ones or not? Let's just go in here. Let's take what I first would expect to be the correct solution. So we have one going this way. Like this. Now this one's gonna get more. These two will only get half as much as this one. Okay, let's give it a try anyway. So let's open the reactor. Very basic controls. So input a molecule. Down, grab it, drop it here. Let's see, let's go back. We need to produce 2. Ideally, I want to do 2 here. Every time we go get one to go up there. So, what if... grab it. Drop it here, up, will only have one. Oh, we can add controls now. We can add branches. How did that work? Press the reactor control buttons to make branch control instructions to redirect Waldos. Okay, that was the thing. So, our reactor here, we're gonna start with adding a branch here. Because at first, okay, so at first will be, we can just pick A. So at first our red one will pick up molecules here. The blue one will drop them there. Output and output. So we'll drop them here and output them. We'll not do nothing here because there's nothing there. And as soon as we hit A, the blue one will start to do this cycle only. Now, for efficiency's sake, I'm going to move this over here. Move this down, and this down, this down. No, not the arrow. We'll put a sink here and a sink there. So when red passes the sink, it will drop it and blue will grab it, but red is first, so that would work. Let's see, so red picks it, red puts it, inputs, grabs it, then synchronize it, drops it here and blue immediately picks it up. And then blue will drop it here and output it, and move back. Maybe we should go this way as well. Wait, let's move this one and go that way. Synchronize here. But when we hit A, we go that way. Let's check that. See if it works. So the first one goes over there. We hit A. Oh. Oh yeah, we forgot one here. Of course. Let's retry. The first one goes down. And then we hit A. How do we hit A? Oh, F1. Okay, and now it will move there. So that seems to be working correctly. Yeah. Okay, but if that's the case, we'll just remove this reactor. We'll copy this one, or we save it to toolbox. Differentiator. No. 50. 50? No. Toggletron. Oh, come on. Toggletron. Okay, and we'll add another Toggletron over here. Okay, and this one needs to do the downward as well first. Yeah. We'll exit, we'll tick D for this one. Wait, did that change? Oh no, it was like this, but the B needs to point up. Yeah. This one is B, this one is A. So we'll start going down and down to the first one. Then we'll toggle A, which will start feeding this one, and then we'll toggle B to feed this one. Okay, I think we got it. All the molecules are going into this pressure, this oxygen tank. Slowing down a bit. We want to not waste a single molecule. Okay, this one should go. The next one, we have one too much, but that's not the end of the world. So this one should go into this pipe. Yeah. Okay. And then when this one loads up, we'll hit F2 to move the molecules or to divert them into the first tank. Yeah, we could have done it earlier because those molecules, not the most efficient, because we wasted a few molecules there, but that's okay. Oh wait, that didn't work? Do we have to deliberately wait till this? Yeah, I think that's it. It has to be close enough for it to work. So we need to deliberately stall them. So for this one we're going to use a storage tank. We'll wait a bit longer to switch to this tank. That'll waste a few molecules, but that's not an issue, I think. And then here we're going to stall them. What if we just wait longer? Can we waste molecules? Is that an issue? Good question. Let's just try it again, and we'll just wait a bit longer to switch over. We're wasting molecules, but that's okay. Now we switch. Yeah, 2 tires. So we'll wait a bit longer now. A bit more. F2. Maybe till too fast? Yeah, it was too fast. Okay, we try again. That worked. Assignment complete. SpaceChem confidential. Performance statistics unavailable. You have been promoted to Reaction Engineer 2. And we made it to the 4th world, Alkonost. Aha, an introduction to sensing. Sensors detect the element of the atom over them. The branch sense atom instruction redirects Waldos when the atom over the sensor matches the instruction's trigger element. So it's like an if statement in programming. So we can put this instruction branch sense atom with an O, and if it is an O, then it will follow this direction. If it's not an O, then it will continue downward. Change the trigger element, yeah, by using the change trigger element action in the menu. So these sensors allow reactors to process inputs with different compounds. For instance, this one has like 75% oxygen and 25% nitrogen. So if we input a molecule, it could be either one of them. We only know their ratio, but we don't know what the next molecule will be. But we can take care of that using these sensors. Some production puzzles have unbalanced inputs and outputs. Direct excess raw materials into recyclers. Okay. So, our first instruction, we get neon and argon. Neon has to go in this output and argon in that one. So that's pretty simple with a sensor. We can simply input a molecule, move down to the right, pick it up, and if it is like this, then we'll go this way. We put a sensor here. Yeah. To put the sensor there. If it is, of course we need to change the element. Neon, no, argon. If it's argon, it will be the bottom line. If it's neon, it will be the top one. We drop our elements here. Move up, move up. And to the left. Now the blue one. Yeah, sync, sync. The blue one will sync. Then grab it. Or grab this one. Okay, we have an issue here, because if the blue one Blue one doesn't know which one it has. And the sensor will not trigger the blue one. What we could do is... Okay, well, let's move the sensor over here. Remove this condition. I don't need to drop anything here, no synchronize. So red will just grab it and drop it here. The blue one will synchronize here, then grab it, move to the right. Then here, if it is an argon, move down to the right here and up. We drop here, we drop there, we output, we output. This would work. I don't think it's the most efficient, but it would work. So the red one just picks up whatever atom is coming in, synchronizes it and drops it here. The blue one, which synchronizes here, would then pick it up. If it's an argon, it will move down, drop it and output it. If it's not, then it's a neon, then it will drop it here and output it. Now after the argon drop, it will also drop here and output, but there will be nothing there, so that's not a problem. The blue cycle will take a bit longer, which is not ideal in terms of efficiency, because the red one may have to wait. Let's just try. Let's see what it gives. So the blue one, yeah. So the red one will be there already. Yeah, it's only 1 or 2, but over all these cycles this will still be a drain on efficiency, so we can make this a bit more optimal by doing something like this. Yeah, that should be more optimal. Now we can do it even better because we don't need to output in this exact position. We can do it anywhere in the output zone. So if we drop it one tile closer, that would be more efficient. But I like to drop it in the correct position because that later on with multiple reactors, that's important to be in the right position for the next reactor to pick it up. Oh! This was a relatively efficient solution, apparently. I hadn't expected that. So if you can see, the vast majority of players has a less efficient solution. Maybe because they don't work with the two Waldos, where one picks it up and drops it close to the output zone, where the other splits. Another solution is to have both Waldos go from input to output. But that's tougher to synchronize, because one route to the output will be shorter than the other, and that you may run into conflicts then. I think this was a pretty simple and efficient solution. Of course, it can be made more efficient than that, but I'm quite satisfied with that. Prelude to a Migraine. We don't need the story elements. Okay, no new techniques. Right, now we get single oxygen or double bonded oxygen. So oxygen atoms or oxygen molecules. Alright, how do we handle that? We only need the single one. Alright, so we start here. We input a molecule. We grab it. This will only grab something if there is a double bonded oxygen. And if there is, then we will we might as well do the unbonding here. Okay, we input, we remove a bond. Well, the blue one will... the blue one also removes a bond at the same moment. Move down and grab this one. So if it's double bonded, by the time both Waldos go over the atoms, there will no longer be any bonds, because we've issued 2 unbond commands. They will both grab at the same time. The red one may not be carrying anything, the blue one always will. So the blue one will drop it here and output and go back. The red one will drop it here as well and output. The only issue we have now is that they might overlap. We don't even use the sensor. Let's give it a try. I'm not sure if they won't run into each other. I don't think so. No, the red one has finished before the blue one, and this is an issue. Yeah, they need to synchronize, because otherwise if there is a double bonded, the red one is back before the blue one. The second bond won't be removed. So we need to synchronize here. Okay, that should work. Okay. And if there's single oxygen, we haven't had any of those yet. Yeah, then the red one will just do nothing, but that's fine. And you can see there's 50-50, but that doesn't mean they're alternating between single and double. We had like 3 double oxygens to begin with, and then 2 or 3 single ones. So it is kind of random, just in the long term you get 50-50. But you cannot predict what the next oxygen will be, single or double. Okay, we got this one. Still pretty simple. Random oxides. Oh, any new... No new training. So what do we have here? Now we have 3 different inputs. This is starting to get interesting. So we have single oxygen, we have single zinc, and single titanium. So 3 different atoms. In this lower portion they will come with 50% chance, whereas the oxygen is 100%. The outputs, we need to output titanium dioxide and zinc oxide. So the titanium needs 2 oxygens and the zinc only needs 1. but always double bonds. Good. In that case, okay, not too difficult, I think. So we will, the blue wallow will input this and grab it. We'll move up. And still not as simple as it looks. And we do only have one sensor here, something to consider. Might not be as simple as I first thought. Because we could drop the oxygens somewhere. Let's say like we have these bonders and we drop oxygens alternating, and then we bond based on a sensor. But the issue is still that the red one doesn't know which one it is, so it might be coming with the next oxygen already, while there's still an oxygen waiting here to be bonded, and that's gonna complicate matters way too much. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab it anyway, whatever it is, and we're going to put a bonder here and issue a bond command. So when we come here with whatever we have, we're gonna do a bond here, and then immediately move to the right. Meanwhile, we're gonna time it so the red one also does a bond, so we will have a double bond. That's the aim. We will have a double bond of zinc or titanium with the oxygen that was here. And if it is, and then we'll put the sensor here, if it is a titanium, we're gonna move up. If it's not, then we'll continue here, and then we have zinc oxide, which is one of our end products. So in that case, we're going to move down. No, we can move down just here. Yeah, and then back, drop it here, and output. So in case we have zinc oxide, this should work perfectly. Assuming we need to input an alpha molecule as well. So we input a beta, zinc or titan, we grab it. We input an alpha, an oxygen. We bind the two together when we come here. We go to the right. If this, we forgot, if this is a titanium, we move up. If not, it's a zinc, so we already have double bonded zinc oxide, and we move here, drop it, and output. If not, we move here. We'll add another bonder over here, and we issue a bond command. Move to the right. We drop it here. No, we drop it here to be correct. Go down and left. This looks okay. The only thing we need to do is to have the red. Red needs to add an extra bond as well. But we can have the red one something very basic. What if the red one would just simply do a plus bond command and return? That's not what I meant, of course. What if we do this? But it needs to be timed correctly, which is not the case right now. And we must also input another oxygen, so that's not correct. That's definitely not working correctly. Before I forget, I also need to output this. Okay, let's think again. Remove all this. The red one. We can add a sink here. Yeah. The red one will... I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna drop it here. Drop. Remove this. That. Will just immediately move down and to the left. Okay, and this is where the red one picks up. So the red one will... One, two, three, four, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Red will issue a bond command here. Move up this here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll also be over the sensor when it's there. And we'll also issue a bond command. Yeah, of course. We go up to the right. No, we go to the right. We only go up when there is a titanium. Otherwise, we move back up. And if it's not, then we grab it. I wish I had done them the opposite direction, because now the red one will grab before the blue one drops, and that will give a conflict. But I don't feel like doing it all over again to switch. I wish I could just switch the colors. Yeah, I wish there was a command to just switch the blue and the red Waldo. But I guess there's not. Hi Gary, has OB finished streaming? I assume so, since you are dropping in. It does hurt sometimes, but that's part of the fun. Hi Mosty. Okay, we'll just put a sink here. And a sink there. No, a sink here. Ah, no, this... I completely mixed... It would be so simple if my red and blue Waldos would be inverted. But they're not, so I'm going to have to do something about that. Let's think again. Input grab, input bond them. If it's titanium, bond this one as well and drop it here. If it's not, then you drop it there. The red one does the same bonding based on what we have here, then picks up this one. Okay, we'll move this one just one further to give ourselves a bit more space. So the red one can synchronize here, while the blue one will synchronize here. This will add a bit of a delay, will make it less efficient, but I don't feel like redoing the whole thing just because of a bit of a less efficient solution. Now if we have the other route, then we also need to synchronize. So we're going to add a sync command here after we grab, and then we need to synchronize there, 2 before the bond. Yeah, I think we got it. Okay, let's give it a try and see if there's any mistake in my logic. Double bond, okay. Oh yeah, there is a mistake. It's not... of course. We still need to rotate them, of course, to have it correctly. Crap. That complicates matters quite a bit. Because what happens? We grab the Titan or titanium. It's still not bonding. Oh, we don't input either. We don't input another. Okay, I'm gonna do something drastic. Can I throw away this? Undo, undo. Redo? No. Is there a reset? I only have redo and undo. So they seem rather drastic, but I want to do it. I'm gonna start with the red Waldo this time. And we're gonna do it a little bit different. So, we start with the red Waldo. Red Waldo, coming from there. Inputting an oxygen, moving down. We add a bond there. So we grab our oxygen. We add a bond when we come here. We need to input zinc or titanium as well. We can even move like this, I guess. Right, at the same time, blue issues another bond command. That's what we're going to assume. And this time we're going to immediately rotate. Like this. No, like this. No, like this. So we have the oxygen. And the zinc or titanium will be to the left of our oxygen. So we drop it here. Okay, and then we synchronize move up and go back here. That's what red's going to do. Blue, you are going to tricky. Blue, you come from here. We're in the middle. No, here. I'm gonna input it here and add another sync command. Blue, you are going to sync here. Then bond. Okay. Then you wait. But should we? No, we don't. We don't need this sync. And we don't need this sync. Because they will be synchronized already. Both of them bond. You can even do the sync here. So you bond, 2 bonds, rotate, you drop it while blue grabs it. Yeah. If we move this, if it's a this will always be a hydrogen. We can crap. I cannot put a sensor there because that will always be a hydrogen. But what we can do is have blue gonna move back again. Blue will be one behind now. So if red drops it here, blue can grab it here. The difference is that blue will grab it by the zinc or the titanium, not by the oxygen. And blue can then, on the sensor here, move up if it is a titanium and continue otherwise. If it's not a titanium, then we go here, down again, no. Down, the left, drop it and output that molecule. Okay. Now what remains is what we need to do if it's a titanium. Then we move this way. We input another alpha molecule. We bond it. We need a double bond. Crap. Wait, we do it differently. We add a sync here. And move like this. And then, wow, very inefficient solution, but I'm just gonna work towards a solution and not the most efficient one. Yeah, we can make this a little bit simpler like this. We'll immediately input an A or an alpha. Drop all this shit. Okay, so we're synchronizing here. Red will 1, 2 on the third. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Red, so you're gonna do a little bit of a bigger detour. On 3, you will 1, 2, 3. Yeah, on 3. You will add 2 bonds, then you will synchronize, which will release blue, and then you will go over there. Let's check if I haven't forgotten anything. Double bond, blue picks it up. Oh. What? Okay, let's do that again. It is a titanium. Oh, but blue still picks it up by the oxygen? How is that possible? Wait. Okay, we have... Red has it by the oxygen. We will add 2 bonds here. That's okay. Then red will rotate. Okay. Ah, I see. The rotation does take 1 tick. So blue catches up there, which is not supposed to happen. We will move this 1 further. Yeah. And now blue will pick up the titanium. Okay, but we have another issue now, that is that these bond commands didn't go through. When red drops it, 1, 2, 3, on 3 and 4, it will add bonds. But of course blue is not yet on the spot. Blue needs to be there first, which is not the case. So we need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on 6 and 7. So we're gonna make red make a bigger detour again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So here and here we'll add the bonding. Okay, we have the correct bonds. We drop it. Now red waits, which is good. We add the bonds. Okay, this is another titanium. And it goes up. So the titanium is working correctly. Now let's see if the zinc also works correctly. We have another titanium. So yeah, even if we have 50% chance, you can see that we had 3 titaniums in a row. And this time we get zinc oxide. And that worked perfectly, but now, aha, we have an issue. And the issue is that if we have zinc oxide, then blue will not hit a synchronize command. Well, red will, and they will get out of sync. So what I need to do is have a gonna do it like this. We need another synchronize just in case when there is zinc oxide we need to synchronize as well. Otherwise the red one will not continue. I think we got it. Let's speed it up a little. Titanium oxide still working correctly. The first zinc oxide worked perfectly fine as well, but then they got out of sync after that. And this time, yeah, we got them back into sync. And it works correctly. We're not dropping the zinc oxide in the right spot, by the way. I just noticed that. But okay, that's not as important. And we have a solution. Relatively efficient both in cycles and symbols. Cool. Press tab to view leaderboards. Okay. Yeah, not too many people on that list. Not too many of my friends who have played SpaceChem, which is quite a shame. Okay, more story. We don't want the story. We're skipping story elements. And no new training elements, so we'll just move on. Okay, now we have again a multi-reactor. So we'll have nitrogen 25%, oxygen 75%. We need nitric oxide, which takes half of each. One atom of nitrogen, one atom of oxygen. So we need to unbond the originals, and then we have to bond one atom of each together with a double bond and output that. Now you can immediately see that we will have leftover oxygen, because we have 3 times as much oxygen as we have nitrogen. So the excess will have to go into the recycler. So ideally, 1/3 of the oxygen we'd want to move to the recycler, or 2/3 better, and 1/3 we need to keep to produce nitric oxide. So how are we going to do that? Let's start with a basic sensor reactor. And how are we going to do this? Input whatever you have, grab it. Then if it is a nitrogen, move to the right, otherwise move down. The sensor needs to be placed here. So we grab it, we input a molecule, we grab it, we check if it is a nitrogen. If it is a nitrogen, we will continue to the right. If it is an oxygen, we will continue to the south. We'll drop it here and there. And we continue, we go back here, we output whatever we have. Okay, this would work. A very basic way of doing it, but this would work. The other hand, yeah, we should drop it here, it will be cleaner. Even better if we drop it there. Yeah, that's the right spot. So we'd want just one Waldo, the red one. We could simply grab whatever we have here. If it's nitrogen, we drop it there. If it's oxygen, we drop it there. And I think that's what we need to do at start. But the thing is, we need to split them if we want to combine them. Question is, do we already want to split them here and output individual atoms? The downside of that would be that we would have more work sending stuff over here afterwards, but less work when we need to combine them for nitric oxide. So I still think it's worth considering. But we have a triple bond with the nitrogen and a double bond with the oxygen. And we still have our blue wall, though he's doing nothing at all. So what are we going to do? We put the blue Waldo at the same spot to start. No, like this. Okay, the blue Waldo will have the same sensor. We'll synchronize and we'll remove 3 bonds. Because if it's nitrogen we have 3 bonds, and we'll then just move back. If it's not, then yeah, well, red one of course needs to synchronize here. There, yeah. Okay, so the red one will move up, drop it here. Let's make a little detour. Minus, minus, minus. Blue can then pick up the other atom, because there will be another atom here then. Drop the other one and output. Okay. I think that works if we have nitrogen. So blue will wait here to synchronize. Red will move with the double bonded nitrogen over here, over these 2 bonders. We'll then wait till blue hits the sync. Wait, blue should bond before syncing, of course. Crap. Wait, we'll add a sync here, and we'll add another... yeah, we'll need to make a bigger detour then, because we need another command. Bond, bond, bond. Then we sync. Yeah. And red will have 2 syncs then. Like this. Whoa, hope you guys are still following. So they will both start together. They will input, or red will input a molecule over here, grab it, move over the sensor, or they both will move over the sensor. If it's a nitrogen, double nitrogen, both will move to the right. Blue will wait here till red goes there. Then they both continue. Red waits again, while blue will remove the 3 bonds. Then synchronizes, so red will continue. Blue will grab this atom, Meanwhile, red will drop its atom over here and continue, and blue will drop its atom and continue. And they need to synchronize, of course, before they start a new loop. Yeah. So that works well if it's nitrogen. Now we need to consider what we're gonna do if it is oxygen. So we'll do the same trick. We'll synchronize blue over here. Red will sync here and there. Yep. And then blue needs to remove 2 bonds this time. And we'll unsynchronize again. We'll grab the second atom, output it, no, drop it. Yeah, drop it first. Then output. Okay, I don't think this is the most efficient solution, but I think it is a working solution. Then we need to add nodes to our reactor. The good news is we're not just splitting oxygen and nitrogen. We're effectively we're already effectively splitting them. So we might have, so in the upper we will have nitrogen only. Can we add 2 at once? No, then they will automatically connect. Okay, but this is fine. So this is the upper node, and the lower nodes will be oxygen, like this. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct. No, we dropped them one further. Okay, so up here. And there. So making correct nodes is good to help you further down the line, because otherwise you will make mistakes in your next reactor. Yeah, not visible and not visible. So the upper one will be nitrogen, the lower one will be oxygen, single bonded. We'll immediately add another reactor after this. Yeah, the lower one will go into the recycler, the upper one our end product. This would be a rather efficient solution if it works. The question is, does it work? Yeah, and thanks for dropping by, Mosty and Gary. Hope you are having a nice weekend. Don't have much time to discuss other things while I'm playing this game, because it requires a lot of thinking and attention, which is a shame. I'm really still glad the Spite Night this week reminds me of all those glorious days in the past. It's always an event that gets people excited, gets people together, unites the community. You could argue if you would do it more often, then it wouldn't have the same impact, perhaps. But still, I think community events like that really bring everyone together and are a joy to play. I am quite focused, yeah. These are not the hard levels yet. But I've been thinking whether I should maybe, for my own stream as well, create some sort of a format with Chaos Reborn. Maybe like a weekly event. I was thinking something, but the thing is that I don't want to or better said, you cannot do asynchronous play when you want to stream, so it has to be live. And with live Chaos Reborn, the issue is getting people together at the same time. And I was hoping, well, in a way I was hoping to do something like a league. And like, say every Saturday evening, for instance, we would do Chaos Reborn, we do League, everyone plays one opponent, and after a few weeks we'll see the standings of the league. The issue there is that what happens if someone can't make it then in this week or another week. So I'm still not sure exactly how to handle that, but I am thinking about something on a weekly basis, but it has to be live, and I want it to be some sort of a league format rather than a tournament, and I need to find a way to deal with people not being online every week, having other obligations. But one thing we could do is make just a random draw of the people that are online, so there's no obligation to play every week. But you still need to find a way to mitigate the effect of people playing more games than others. So maybe we should go like a format where we get people in random draws every week, but only those who are online, and then we continue until everyone has played 10 games or something like that. And then we would have the final league table with maybe like a final tournament format playoff between the top 4 or top 2. I think that could work, but need to think a bit more about the exact format and also the timing. Maybe I'll put up a poll or something, which evening would be most suited for everyone. Anyway, back to our space chem here. So we get oxygen and nitrogen single atoms. Here we need to add nitric oxide, and anything else we drop in here, which will be our excess oxygen. If we go back for a moment, so we unbond here. So every time we get a double oxygen, double nitrogen, we output single nitrogen, single oxygen. Both will go in here, so we will always get 3 times as much oxygen as we will nitrogen, right? Well, not always, but on average we will have 3 times as much oxygen as we have nitrogen. So 1/3 of our oxygen we should throw away, or 2/3, and 1/3 should be bonded with the nitrogen. How are we going to do that? I think the most easiest solution here is to have the red Waldo will input nitrogen and grab it. We'll bond that with oxygen. So input oxygen here, then bond it. We had a bonder. Maybe something simple like this. We add another bond. And then we move to the right. So this red one will always make nitric oxide. We rotate this way. We drop it and we output. Okay. So meanwhile, what we can do is have blue just simply input oxygen and drop it down here and output. Since there will be more oxygen, so while red is handling this loop, blue would continuously dump oxygen in here. The only issue we have with that is that the blue and the red Waldo are not in any way synchronized, so they might bump into each other. Can we predict this somehow? We will always get 2 nitrogens in a row and 2 oxygens in a row. Might be more. Does that help us in any way? Not really, because we can have 10 oxygens in a row or 10 nitrogens in a row. The in command will wait till something comes in. That's a given. So the red Waldo here will always wait till it catches a nitrogen and will then wait for an oxygen. Whereas the blue one will always wait here for an oxygen to arrive. So what can happen is that the blue Waldo and the red Waldo are both waiting for the oxygen. In that case, the red Waldo will bond here, while the blue one picks up the oxygen. Now we can prevent that by having blue input oxygen here. Because then the red one will bond it and move down with it by the time blue comes here. But yeah, blue is not picking up anything at the moment. It should still grab it. The only thing I'm not sure here is which one will input. If there is an oxygen arriving and both are waiting, will red always get the oxygen? Or is it the first one who started waiting? They will not collide because there will... I don't think if there is one oxygen arriving that both Waldos will continue. So I think this works. But I'm not 100% sure. Let's see. So both Waldos waiting, that's normal. Have we tested this? No, we haven't tested this one, haven't we? Oh, we... Crap! The nitrogen and oxygen are coming to this input and we've made our reactor for the other one. Okay, we can fix that. That should work. Let's first check if this one does its job correctly. Oxygen, oxygen. Okay. Which means that... Okay. The other one here, the blue Waldo, should be handling the oxygen already, because red is waiting for nitrogen. Yeah, and it does. So these two oxygens will go into the recycler. Oh, we can have other issues. Of course, these pipes are way too small. I'm gonna change that straight away because otherwise we are going to run into issues. Disconnect. Even shorter. Yeah, like this. I think that's better. At least we'll have some room in our pipes. Okay, so we have 2 oxygens. The blue Waldo here will send them to the recycler. We have more oxygen coming in. And again, they go here. And blue sends them to the recycler. Now we have nitrogen. Okay, interesting. Okay, now red is waiting for oxygen. And blue is waiting for oxygen. This was a situation that we had. Let's pause there for a moment. So the oxygen is coming. Let's open this reactor. So red has picked up a nitrogen. There's another one in the pipes. Blue has been dumping excess oxygen, is waiting for more oxygen to come. Which one will input the oxygen? I think blue was the first one waiting. So will blue get the advantage? And does it matter? Oh, it's red? Okay. Close. We can add one more here. If red gets the advantage, I think that should work. Let's do it a bit faster and see. Oxygen going there. Nitrogen. Okay. We got 1 nitrogen. More oxygen being dumped. We have more nitrogen. Okay. Excellent. This is working pretty well, in fact. Let's speed it up. Oh my god! We do get an error. Very far down the line. It worked for a long time and then suddenly we get a reaction error. Let's see what might have happened here. Wait, blue is carrying nitrogen? Oh yeah, this is the first reactor. And the reason for that is probably because this pipe is full of nitrogen. So what we will do is just extend the pipes. And I think that should do the trick. Yes, it does. Explosions would be better. Yeah, but explosions don't give you any feedback about what went wrong. Now I at least could see where the collision took place, and from that I could deduct what the error was. And the error was very simple. The pipe between both reactors was too short, and when you have 50% nitrogen and oxygen? Oxygen, yeah. But that doesn't mean you always get them at alternating, so you may have quite a few nitrogens in a row. And then the second reactor, the nitrogen is waiting for oxygen to bond. But there's no oxygen coming because there's more and more nitrogen, which is not a big deal as long as there's enough place in these pipes to contain that nitrogen. But if the nitrogen pipe is full, then the reactor cannot output and stays there until it can output. And yeah, if it doesn't, it's not able to do the output, then it waits and it doesn't handle the oxygen. So it's like an endless loop until eventually both Waldos collided there. Anything new? Trigger elements? No, still the same stuff. Okay. I think I'm just gonna finish this world today, or maybe not even entirely, and then do some more poker or Terror from the Deep. I'm also thinking of streaming some Terror from the Deep. But I wanted to complete at least this level. Yeah, we have 2 more in this world. That's 3 levels. At the difficulty we're getting, that's gonna take quite a bit of time, I think. I want to complete at least this one, and we'll see how fast it goes, whether we do 2 more or 1 more. But further than this world, we're certainly not gonna go today. Right. So, the end products are not the same. It looks almost the same, but it's not. This is nitric acid and this is sodium nitrate. So they're almost the same except for the hydrogen and the natrium. There's 1 atom that's different. And here we get hydrogen from water and natrium from natrium chloride, or sodium. Yeah, sodium is the correct English term. In Dutch it's just natrium. Sodium chloride, which is salt. So we have water and salt. And here we have nitrogen and oxygen. Remember that this is a fake chemistry game. You don't have to know chemistry. You can see it as Lego blocks. Each atom is a letter and you can bond them. It's like strings attaching them to form molecules. And you just need to make the right connections and go from the inputs to the outputs. But there's not actual real chemical reactions. Nitrogen and oxygen. We always need to make this upper part 1 nitrogen with 3 oxygens. Which is good because they come in the right quantities, because for every nitrogen double nitrogen here, we get 3 double oxygens, which is what we need. So they come in the right ratio, although they might not always come, they will not always alternate, so we might have like 5 or 6 oxygen in a row instead of just 3, which can cause hiccups in the pipes, and so we'll have to consider that and make sure the pipes are long enough. And here we get hydrogen and sodium chloride. So we need we have them in 2:1 ratio, sorry. But consider also that this water will also have 2 hydrogen atoms, and we only need 1. So we will have 4 times as much hydrogen atoms as we will have natrium atoms. But anyway, we will always have garbage, because the chlorine, for instance, we don't need it, and the oxygen here, we will not use it either. So we will have a lot of garbage from this. This will be perfect to always make the upper part of our molecule. Here we will have a lot of garbage, and we will just extract the sodium and the hydrogen, or one of the hydrogens, to combine with the upper half from this reactor. Okay, let's see how we'll handle this. We'll drop down a first reactor here somewhere. This will take the hydrogen and oxygen, and I think we can keep it very simple. We'll add a output node, and let's output what we need, right? Because that makes sense. And a double bond here. Okay, is that what we want to output? I think so. We can input here. Okay, so this is the upper reactor that will output exactly what we need, and we'll never have any excess. No, we will have excess, and the excess will go in the recycler. Although we don't want to waste too much, because then we will be running inefficiently. When will we have something in the recycler? When we have too much oxygen coming in? A bit like what we had in the previous example. But otherwise we will pump out this molecule. Okay, now here we will also put a reactor. And this reactor will hydrogen or sodium in the upper half, the upper part, and in the lower part it can be anything. So the lower part with the anything will just go into the recycler, and the upper part will go into a next reactor. We will still need a reactor somewhere over here. This connects to that, this connects to that, like this and like that. So we'll have something like this. So we'll have in this reactor will receive hydrogen or sodium over here, and in the upper input will receive this upper part of the molecule, which is already correct. So we just need to add a sensor, detect whether it's hydrogen or sodium coming in, bond it, and then send it to the correct output. So that seems rather simple. The upper here seems relatively simple as well. We get nitrogen and oxygen, and we need to make this unknown molecule. This one will be the most complicated one, I think, because we will get these two molecules. We want to output just one hydrogen or one sodium, and everything else will dump into the recycler. Well, maybe not that difficult. Right, I'm gonna put in a break here, grab a drink, have a smoke, and then we'll continue with this one. I'll leave it on the screen so you can think about it. I hope I haven't overseen anything, but I think this would work. We just need to make the individual reactors do what we have planned out here in the overlay. So, time for a break. Be back in a moment, guys. And we're back. So we have a bit of a setup to do here. The first thing I'm thinking of, this reactor here, is kinda similar to what we did in the previous level, if I'm not mistaken. Toglotron? No, we don't have standard reactors. Oh, we have only sensor reactors. Let's go back to the previous one for a moment. What was I doing here? Just splitting. Ah yeah, this one. It's not exactly the same as what we want. So I'm just gonna redo it. Alright, so we get these two molecules. We'll need the sensor to make the distinction. Or do we? Not really. We can just... yeah, this is pretty simple in fact. We'll put both over here. Right, so red one, you will input a molecule. Do it like this. You will input a molecule and blue will immediately remove the bond. So blue will then pick up the excess part over here, which might be OH or it might be chlorine. It doesn't matter. Because whatever it is, we can send it to the recycler. Not drop, grab. So blue will grab this part and just drop it in this corner, because it doesn't matter where we drop it. As long as it's in the output zone, that's okay. That should send it to the recycler. And then we can go back to the start. And sink here. Yeah, let's not forget the sink. We'll add that right away. Well, red will grab this one, which will be a hydrogen or a sodium. Issue here is that they will collide. So, how we handle this? We can add another sink. So red will only continue when blue gets here. And then red will drop the hydrogen in the right spot. Output it as well, of course, and blue needs to also output like this. I think that will do. We don't need the sensor. Chlorine goes to the recycler, sodium goes over there. Okay, I think that's working correctly. Yeah, OH goes there and hydrogen goes there. Okay, so the first reactor is doing already what it should. That was easier than I thought. Then we get the second reactor here. Should always make this molecule. And we have the recycler. If we have too much of the same, so we should consider if we get two of the same molecule in a row, we'll have a lot of excess. We might have to split this up into two reactors, but we can try with one first and see how it goes. So logical first step would be to input whatever molecule we get. grab it. Let's think this through. Let's do this one first. This is gonna be the easier one. We input the molecule, we grab it by the nitrogen. Then we move like this. Let's think for a moment. So we have the nitrogen here, so we will have an oxygen there when we're sitting here. This is where we need the connection. So we'll just do a bond here, which will add whatever atom we have, sodium or hydrogen, to our existing molecule. And then we can go back. I don't even need a sensor for that one. And we drop it over here. We'll add a sink here. Blue, on the other hand, will come from here. We'll sink here. We'll then grab whatever is here. No, blue needs to grab it here. Right? Because this is the atom, will be here, the one that distinguishes both molecules. This. But if it is a hydrogen, so this will work if it is a sodium. However, if it's a, we don't need this, we don't need that. The sensor needs to go somewhere here. Yeah, if it is a hydrogen, go up to the right, output and drop first. No, it should drop here and output like this. I think this works. Oh, wait a second. We need to grab here, right? This is where we need to grab. Move down. Yeah, like this. We'll have to check it later, but I think this is correct. And blue will start first. We'll synchronize, which means it will wait till red comes here. Red will input this molecule and grab it by the nitrogen, move here. It will then bond the atom here. Oh, we need to input this one as well, of course. So we input a sodium or natrium on this tile, and we bond whatever it is to the oxygen that will be here when the nitrogen is there. Yeah, that should work. We synchronize, so blue now continues. Red drops the molecule while blue picks it up, but not in the same spot. Blue picks it up here, which means not by the nitrogen, but it will pick it up by the hydrogen or sodium, whatever is here. We'll take the entire molecule, run over this sensor. When it's hydrogen it will go up, otherwise when it's sodium we'll move right. We'll drop the molecule in the right spot, do the output. This should be like this, and either way it will continue where it came from. And we can make this even simpler with an extra arrow over here. Yeah, like this. Okay, one reactor left to go, the hardest one, I think, which seemed relatively simple, but it isn't as simple as I first thought. The issue is not unbonding this and bonding it to that. The issue is that we will get those in different quantities. We will need to dump the excess, but we don't know in advance. We can have 3 nitrogens in a row or 3 oxygens in a row or even more, because since we will have them in a 3:1 ratio, we could have 6 or 7 oxygen in a row. So we could do something like we did before and dump excess oxygen, but we can also have excess nitrogen. So we cannot pull the same trick by just having one go through the oxygen only, for instance, and dump it, while the red one always takes nitrogen and then combines it with oxygen, because we can have more nitrogen. And they're coming through the same input, which is kind of an issue. If we would split them first, that would... If we have them in 2 inputs, that would make things a lot easier. And we do have 2 more reactors. We have a quota of 5. We're only doing it with 3 at the moment. So we might have to add a 4th reactor. We don't need 5. We definitely don't need 5. Question is, can we somehow deal with that? I think we're always going to run into issues if we try to do all this in one single reactor. It looks simple, but it definitely is not, because we need to unbind them, we need to bind them differently, we need 2 of this and 1 of this for each combination, which leave us 1 nitrogen and 1 oxygen too much. And we have different quantities. We don't know, we can have 2 or 3 of the same in a row. Yeah, we definitely gonna have to add another reactor. I don't see another solution. So let's remove these pipes for a moment. So we're gonna put this one over here, and we're gonna add another one over here. So we're basically connecting. That's not working. Room is an issue. Let's give ourselves some room to begin with. Like this. Okay, but we need to check again what we're doing here. This one is not That one should have the right molecule here. We can have excess go there if we want. Will we split them? Yes, we will. So we will have nitrogen, and this one will always have oxygen and no longer bonded. Oh yeah, that's remove visibility on the nodes. So here we get nitrogen and oxygen separately. We can dump excess through the recycler, and we will have the right molecule going out here, which will then go to this reactor, where we combine it as we have already planned. Okay. This reactor needs to make the combination, dump the excess. This reactor just needs to split. This is an easy one. So we input our molecule, grab it, drop it here. That's our red one. Really simple. Input the molecule, grab it and drop it here. The blue one, oh yeah, and synchronize. The blue one will, oh, we can sync before. The blue one will come from here. We'll synchronize, grab it. Up here. Wait, we can. It's a double one, so we can also grab it here. We cannot put this on top. But that's okay. Let's move up with it to the right, down. Let's see. It's a double one. So what we will do is put the bonders here, like this, and there. Okay, so if it's you have a bonder, we will remove a bond here. And go up. We have double bonds, but that won't work. It will still. We may have 3 bonds even if it's nitrogen. Yeah, it's nitrogen, so we will have even 3 bonds. So we're going to. We have to put a sync command here, and the red one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. Yeah, we need to make a bigger detour with the red one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we only have room for 2 unbond commands. That's still not enough. Bigger detour it is. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So here we need to add 3 unbonds. And then we'll sync. So blue will then no longer be bonded. Can move this way. Can output first the first one, which is sitting here. We'll then drop the second one and output it as well. Like this. And go back to where it started. However, when we have a oxygen, then we need to go to the south and we'll do a similar thing. So we'll sync here. We'll do 3 unbond commands, but that's no big deal because we cannot remove more bonds than we have. Still have the issue that we don't have an output now. We can do a simple fix for that. We'll start like this. And we'll add an output here. That should work fine, I think. Okay. And an out here, of course. I think this will work. So we pick it up. We input a molecule, we pick it up. And we're not picking it up in the right spot, aren't we? Good job, T. Why do we even have a arrow over here? Okay, not the most efficient solution, but it'll do the trick. So we grab it here, we sync, which makes blue start. Then we drop it here, blue grabs it there, goes through the sensor to go in the right direction, nitrogen versus oxygen. We'll sync here or there. After red has finished the bonds, it will sync. Blue will then output the atom here or there. We'll drop the second one when the first one's already gone and output that as well, and then go back through the loop. We'll synchronize again, which is a sync with this one. Yeah, okay. That one should be fine. Which reactor do we have left? This one? Yeah, so this one gets, now we get nitrogen and oxygen single. We no longer need to split it, and we'll also get them in different inputs. So that's fine, because now the oxygen should normally be coming faster, but if it doesn't, it's no big deal, because we can have one Waldo treat each of them, I guess. So, our red Waldo. And this is probably the last level I'm gonna play. We'll input an oxygen. We'll be getting them in the right quantities in the long term, but should we use the recycler then? We probably will have to. So we grab one oxygen, move up, when we arrive here, we do a bond. We'll rotate. And add another bond. So this will be our double bonded nitrogen-oxygen. Something like this. No, I don't like this. Maybe we should. I don't want red to do this bond command. We'll drop it. No, because that won't work. Then they'll be over each other. We'll drop it here. We need to go the other way around. This is way too complicated. It's much more logical to have the bonders near the oxygen. So let's move all this away. We need to grab this. No, we need to grab the nitrogen. After we input it, we move down. With our nitrogen, we'll have a bonder here. When we come here, we bond. And rotate. No, we sync. Let blue handle the bonding. And we rotate. So meanwhile, what's blue going to do? Well, blue is going to synchronize first. I'm gonna come from here. Blue is going to synchronize, so it's gonna wait till red has grabbed the nitrogen, has made this over here. Add another sync before that. Yep. And between those two, blue is gonna add the bond. Although I would like to have a double bond. Let's assume we're coming from here, that's better. I do immediately want to do that double bond and then move down. So blue will add the bonds and then give the sign for red to continue. So red will now have the nitrogen here, the oxygen there with a double bond. We'll then move on when blue hits this tile. But blue cannot input yet because red will be still over this. I'm gonna have to move up a little. Which is good because we're between the two exit points. I'm already thinking ahead there. So red will be here, will turn. This takes time, so let's remove the turning for a moment. We'll have double bonded nitrogen oxygen. And moves to the right. That's better. So then blue, when red is here, blue can already input the next oxygen. So we can move this over here. Okay, so blue will input the next oxygen and synchronize. Now it's red's turn. So red is carrying nitrogen oxygen. We want red to turn that. So the oxygen will be to the right. Move downwards. We'll drop it here. And then synchronize. Blue will then add a bond. No, red needs to blue inputs the atom over here. Red moves there with the molecule. So we can have that. We don't need to drop it. We just need to make a bond. We don't even need to synchronize for that. I do want blue to wait. Till red has finished here. Let's still move this up again. Okay, so blue synchronizes, red makes the bond. So we then have nitrogen with double oxygen to the right, one oxygen to the left. We can then do this. Yeah, that would be the most simple solution, I think. And we'll drop it here. Let's move this over here. Like this. Okay, red inputs a nitrogen, picks it up. It waits for blue. Blue will add the two bonds. Yeah, red moves here, while blue then adds two bonds. It can bond because there's no bonder here. We've obviously forgotten something, so we need a bonder here. Okay, so this will make double bond. We'll then rotate, move downwards, and add another bond with the next oxygen that blue has inputted here after the sync. Is this too early? red moves here first, and then blue will input. But that red will not be here yet. But it will be too fast. Now we're gonna move this up one. Here. Let's switch these commands. Blue. So red will input the molecule, which normally happens first, and then blue will make the bond. Yeah. Then red will move up with the molecule until it hits here, and then drop it. Will then... Yeah, I got it. We'll then add a bond. Now input another molecule or oxygen atom. Make the bond. It will input here while our molecule will be over here. So that will make the right connection. It's no longer carrying, that's fine. And blue can then grab it. Although red needs to synchronize. Yeah. Blue will then grab it, move to the right. Oh. And drop it here. We still need to output as well. Let's do it like this. Output. And we will have no excess. The only thing we should be careful of is that our pipes are long enough. So this reactor. So the pipes leading up to here, this can be pretty short. We're gonna move this. This can connect immediately. This will make a bit longer. Like that. The upper one is nitrogen. We will rarely have an excess of nitrogen. We will usually have more of an excess of oxygen. That's what we expect. So that's why I made this pipe a little longer. I'm gonna make it even longer, because I do expect we will have a lot of oxygen coming in. And we're not using the recycler, so we don't even need this connection. Okay. And then this molecule will move down into this one. Yeah, I think we're finished. Let's give it a try. So let's watch our first reactor here. Oxygen goes down. Wait, that didn't do any unbonding. That's already not working correctly. Let's restart that. Okay, blue one has got oxygen. It waits here. Oh, that's our mistake. Wait, it's coming in here? Of course! We've grabbed it by the right one, not the left one. We could rotate twice. We'll need to do the same here. Not the most efficient, but I'm not gonna change my entire solution here. Twice. Sync. Remove the bonds. output and output. Okay. Nitrogen, is that working? Oh, and here we have a timing issue. Yeah, because this route's longer, it takes longer and the bonding here is too fast. Why? Six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I don't get it. Let's try that again. Oxygen's working fine. Red is gonna wait here till blue hits which sync? Are we missing a sync? No, this sync command. Right? Yeah. So now it's just blue. Oh no, red is continuing. Ah yeah, I see. Okay. So red's going to this sync command. And there they pick up again. Of course, the turning is causing a slowdown. Which works fine here because we were too fast here, I think. Yeah, if we go this route, the blue one will be waiting in time for the red one to do the unbond commands. But if we go here, due to the rotation, we lose another 2. So... wow. Totally not ideal. Okay, let's move this one up. Oh yeah, we're on pause. Like this. That's 2 more and that should work. We are making our solution a lot less efficient this way, but it should work now. So the oxygen we already knew that worked. Nitrogen. And this time blue should be in place. Yeah, this time it works. Okay, so oxygen, nitrogen, first reactor working fine. Second one. We're just in time to witness the error in the second reactor. So let's see what happens here. So blue is waiting for the synchronize. Red is waiting for a nitrogen. Oh, but this is already not ideal because what if there's oxygen coming? Oh, the oxygen will just store in the pipes. Yeah, the oxygen will just go into the pipes. Oh, the connection wasn't made. Again, due to the rotation, I think. What is blue bonding here? Oh. Wait, we are not inputting in oxygen? Yeah, we're not inputting oxygen. That's our problem, indeed. So we need an input of oxygen. Let's see if that solves the problem. There's probably already a lot of oxygen in the pipes. There's our nitrogen. Double connection. And we're wrong here. Yeah. The rotation here takes again 1 tick. So this bond command is coming too early. No, we cannot do that. Okay, a bit more inefficient again. So we need to move this up again. Crap. Why do we do an out here? Wait, we have a double out? Let's undo, because yeah, this is why. So if we just do this, no, this and that, and that, and then we can move this a bit shorter. Okay. Let's try again. We'll watch the overlay here. So we have oxygen that will be in the pipes. This reactor will only start when it gets nitrogen. Ah, there's the nitrogen. Just in time to witness it. We're waiting for more oxygen. Yeah, there's no more oxygen in the pipe now. There's the oxygen connection. Okay. We already have another nitrogen and an oxygen. That's good. And again we have an issue. So when we're coming back for the second loop, we still have problems. And why is that? Okay, let's see that again in action. And the first time it goes alright. What happened? Did anyone see what went wrong there? We didn't make the bond here. Who's handling the bond? Blue. Blue does it after the synchronize. Two. This takes a tick, so that's 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, but what if there is no... What if there is no oxygen ready? Then this one will wait, while the blue one will already issue the bond command. So that's never gonna work here. We cannot just assume that the bonding and the input at the same time will work, because the input depends whether there is something waiting in the pipes already. So we're gonna have to handle this one differently. So what we will do is add the input before the bond. The blue one will give the input command. But now we have the issue that the red one will just continue, because we are not synchronizing. So we're going to add a little detour here and go this way, because then we can add a sync here. No, a sync here, a sync there, and then we will issue the bond command at the right time. If we're doing it this way, we can simplify this and just have red do the bond command. In which case you can wonder why we need the sync to begin with. Oh yeah, because we want red to continue only after we have an input. Let's try it. Oh my god. Okay, there's our first one. Oh, we have a double bond. Why do we have a double bond? Because red is all... Yeah, we don't need blue and red to issue a bond command, so let's remove the blue one. Okay, check again. One bond. This is gonna wait for the input. Okay, bond, and blue grabs it and drops it off. And now it should work fine. That appears to be okay. Alright. So we solved our problem there. Then this reactor gets the molecule, adds the bond, uses the sensor, drops it in the right place. That's working okay. And this one, yeah, this one was simple, was just a splitter. Okay, now let's just look if we have any congestions, but I think that everything else is going fine. That's okay, mostly. No obligations to be constantly attentive here. If anyone just wants to lurk, that's fine. This looks to be going fine. Let's accelerate a little. Oh, here we have congestions. This could cause issues. It's not, but it could be. Or not? Because they synchronize. Yeah, they synchronize. So as long as this isn't output, they will not get another input, so that's not a problem. Otherwise we could get an issue when one Waldo is waiting for the output, that the other one already gets a new input and then they run into each other. But if this pipe's full, then they will not start a new loop. Simple as that. Okay, we have more oxygen piling up here. Luckily we made the pipe long enough. And we did it. Okay, decent solution. 4 reactors. You see, some people did it with 3 or even 2 apparently. 2 reactors. So the first thing I wanted to try with 3 reactors, you can see that number of players who did that is very limited. But it is possible even to do it with 2 reactors apparently. Crazy. I think 3 is already crazy to do, but 2? That's just insane. Now that doesn't mean that it's more efficient, because doing it with only 2 or 3 reactors is probably a lot less efficient. And with 5 you can possibly do it more efficient than we did by adding another reactor, because you can more easily handle the excess of certain volumes or atoms, which causes less congestions and makes things more efficient. So using more symbols and more reactors is often opposite to efficiency. Not always. Sometimes simpler solutions are also more efficient. This is an optional level and this is our final level. Let's just have a quick look at what we need to do. If they're simple enough, we might just do it. Okay, so this is an optional level. Wow. So we need to get the carbon out of this. And then the oxygen we need to combine with this in a completely different binding. and we can use 5 reactors. So let's see, if we come from our starting products here, what would be the most logical to start with? I would say the lower one just produces the carbon, which is also 67%, so 2-1 ratio. So we have carbon. The upper one, what could the upper one give us? Ideally, I'd want the upper one to have something like S O O O O. Something like this, or individual hydrogens. Would this be feasible? No, I don't think this. Well, possible, yes, but probably too complex. Maybe not. We could do it simpler and say, okay, this gets either sulfur, hydrogen, or oxygen. But then we'll make it a lot harder in the next reactor. Sulfur, oxygen, and hydrogen. Not an easy one, this. What we could also do is remove these oxygens and do something like this. Relatively doable, I think. And then in the next reactor we would just need to add 2 of those to this one. So then we'll have a right, this is our input. Yeah. So this is our output on the top. Add another reactor, which gives us our end product. This would definitely be feasible. The only issue is that again you have varying quantities. Ideally would want them in different inputs, but then we need another reactor again. definitely feasible to do. First one? Yeah, not that easy, but definitely possible. I think I'm gonna round it off here. But I might be streaming a little bit of Terror from the Deep afterwards, after a bit of a break first. I'm gonna continue this one later, because each of these puzzles takes time. This is an optional one though, we could just skip it and immediately go for the end game. The end boss. But as you can see, this one is not that simple either, because we have 3 different inputs. So we'll need to run twice over a sensor, I guess, to make the distinction, because both the left atom can be hydrogen or uranium, and the lower one can also be hydrogen or uranium. I think it's uranium. Yeah, it's uranium. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna take a break and then I'll stop the stream and I'll be back later with some Terror from the Deep using OpenXCOM. So if anyone's still around, some XCOM Terror from the Deep coming up in about, say, 15-20 minutes. Hopefully catch you later, and if I don't see you again, good night, whoever is still there. Mosty probably. So yeah, thanks for watching. More SpaceChem in the future, and now we're going to do a little bit of Terror from the Deep.